this kind of this sense that if you work really hard, you can make it. If you work really hard, you can get ahead, okay? And, you know, you got to be really smart. You got to work hard. You can't be lazy. You got to do all the things you need to do, right? So the three of you, and it's like they work really hard. They didn't just give them, you know, someone just didn't give them money. You didn't talk about that, but it's like they're working hard. They're not like not working. So there's this idea, it's like this, you know, this sense of like, yeah, we can, you know, you just have to do it. And if you do it, you can move forward. And the people that make it to the top, they're the ones who make it happen, okay? So the three of you, so imagine there's like a starting line. What we have is this sense that when we make that argument, there's an underlying assumption that there is a starting line and everyone's equal. When the five of these people were born, they're all equal. They're these little tiny babies, and they're starting their lives. And that somehow they're going to like climb the ladder to success. This is the ladder to success, going right up here. And if they work really hard, they're going to climb the ladder, okay? But I've already shown you, it should be fairly clear at this point in time that these three right here they have an advantage pretty clearly, right? So the three of you come with me, right? So we're starting here. You're all going to Penn State, you're all going to get your degrees, and you're all going to do what you have to do, and that's fine. So like stand like about right here, okay? And these two, notice, by the way, just notice, there's a reason I'm picking out two white people. We always have this sense it's like it's black and brown people at the bottom and it's white people at the top, but we're just gonna flip it a little bit. When they start climbing the ladder, and they get their college degrees, so they're going to move forward, right? And they're going to compete. They're all competing together. All five of them are going to compete together, okay? And so what you're going to say to these two women here, your classmates, is, listen, you may be poor. You may really not be where you need to be. Can I bring you up here? I'm just going to bring you up anyway. I need to, just because of what the story you told, right? Because you're clearly the one that's going to have, if I had to guess, what's your name again? Jay. If I had to guess, Jay, from what you all said, Jay's going to have the hardest time climbing. Could you all agree with that? Maybe Paul, but Jay. Am I right, given what she said? Okay? Okay, so you have the most obstacles here, okay? Because, you know, you don't have a lot, but, you know, someone's paying, you know, the whole thing, right? Okay, so the idea is, look, all we're going to tell the three of them is, well, you're competing with everybody else in the class, so you just need to work really hard and then you're fine. So, but watch what happens when they're going to start climbing the ladder, right? They start going. But what happens when they start climbing the ladder, so y'all start coming this way, these guys are doing the same thing, right? They're ahead. Okay, everybody stop. So look, they've climbed. They're moving forward. They're doing what they got to do. You're in school, right? So your mom took some classes, but she didn't graduate. Did she get pregnant with you? Is that what happened? No? Okay. But she took some classes, but she didn't move forward, right? And you're going to finish, or maybe any of you are going to drop. You just decide, okay, I can't do this anymore, and you drop out. Or no, you just keep going, right? But the problem is they move up, which is what we're telling them to do, right? You all got to move up, and they are. But then you're saying, well, but you could be where they are. Like, you could be up there because you can compete with them. But the problem is, and what we fail to see is, as they're competing with them, these people are also competing, and they're competing actually with other people who are up here. Like, is there anyone in class who you heard their stories? Like, is anyone in class who's like, hang on. Can you, I think you're in a different position. Can you come up here? I think your family has a couple Ferraris. I think you're here. Okay, you stay right here. So look, they're competing. These two are competing with her. she's competing with someone who's up here. Everybody's going to move upwards, right? They're all going to move up, but everyone's moving up together. And what happens is we look at these people down here who are, let's say, poor, the poor. We're like, look, y'all, you just got to work harder. You could be there if you work harder, but you can do it, make it happen. But what we never do is look this way and say, hang on a second, yeah, but they're competing with other people who will have these other advantages, because guaranteed, by the way, who's going to get the better summer internship? Who's going to get the killer summer internship junior year? Who's going to get the better one? Him or Jay? You cannot look at poor people if you understand this stuff. If you understand the way the strings are attached to us and the way they impact us, and the way, for example, you see the 4 privileged people here, more privileged, right, whose parents have more money. You see them talking about their lives. You have a better, it doesn't mean life is easy, because I don't know what it's like inside of anybody's home. It doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean nobody said their parents, none of your parents, the 4 of you who are more privileged, none of your parents are telling you, hey, whatever, do whatever you want to do. I don't really care. Are they? It says you can flunk out. It doesn't matter. Come home. We can just go hang out at Miami Beach. We'll just give you money. And nobody's saying that. So, okay, it's much easier. They're going to have an easier time of it than the 4 people, on average. Any one of them may not. And the 4 people or 5 or 6 people who were less privileged, on average, if I'm betting, if I'm going to put my money down, I'm going to say, yep, the 6 of you are not going to go as far as the 4 of them. Because I'm a sociologist. This is how I roll, right? I'm betting on this stuff. It's not true for any individual, but for the groups it is. So, white people, who then are more likely to represent the 4 people who were more privileged. Why is it so difficult for us to look at black and brown people, Native Americans, whatever it is, knowing what people have gone through, knowing the constraints that are put on people? Why is it really that difficult for us to sit back and say, yeah, I could actually see why it would be that people down here who have darker skin would have a harder time of it than people up here on average who have lighter skin? Why is it so hard to do? Why is it the white people were so quick to just say, yeah, hey, listen, we're all equal now. Slavery's over. Whatever the case is, we're done. It's all over. So you just need to work harder. Well, maybe you all just need to work harder to account for the other really wealthy people who you're competing against, who you will never catch up to. You will never catch up to. And you will never blame yourself for never catching up to them, because they're working. Listen to this. They're working, you're working really hard. You're here in school, you're trying to get good grades, you're trying to do everything you need to do, and you're really trying to climb that ladder. And let's say you go to here. You make it to here, and you're like, yeah, I made it to here. I was trying to go up there, but I only made it to here. And you feel good about yourself. Well, maybe the same is true for everybody else who's around you. You know what I mean? It's like, why are we always, like white people in particular, why are we always like pointing at black and brown people and like thinking that somehow they should be somewhere else, when we put all of the constraints in the way that over time has led them to be more likely to be back here instead of up there? It's like, yeah, man, you put the constraints on and somehow you're supposed to be the same.